Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today's review will be on the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe Class Impactor. And here he is in his alt mode, which is referred to as a Cybertronian battle tank. There it is. Nice bits of detail. For articulation, the main turret can rotate 360. This smaller gun can also rotate 360. This cannon is on a hinge, so you can do that. And the main turret can move up and down. The vehicle mode also has 4 wheels down here, but they don't particularly work. They're very stiff on my figure, so be aware of that. And that's pretty much it for his vehicle mode. So now on to the transformation, which first things first, you can pop this off and set it off to the side. Lift that up. You don't have to do that now, but might as well. And you come back here, fold these down, and then you use them to pull this out like so. Then you bring this forward, and then you fold this in, making sure that these spikes line up with this opening here. So like so, like so. And then you come and fold this into place like that. Let me lift this up. And now, separate the legs, and the lower half is done. For this part, is why you needed this up. You then come in here, lift up this piece, and then you separate this, and while you're at it, remove the main cannon and set it off to the side. Then you come over here, lift this up, and then you bring the torso piece down and it'll click into here. Hold on. Make sure the shoulder bits are in the right position so you can click this into place. Bring down. This shoulder piece goes down like this cannon. Then the hands, you rotate like so. Rotate forward, rotate out. Flip this back, and then you get your nail in there and flip out his head. Check out the head sculpt. Very nicely detailed. Very nice head sculpt with nice painting on the eyes. Although it seems like his face is like in a scowl. I think that's the expression it's supposed to be. And here we have his robot mode. Here's Impactor in his robot mode. Nice details. Now onto articulation. The head is on a ball joint. Shoulder cannon is on it's still on a hinge. Shoulders go 360, in, out, swivel, bend, wrist articulation. Waist has a swivel, out, forward, back, bend at the knee, swivel at the knee as well, and an ankle. So he is quite posable. Not just posable, he's quite articulated. So now we get to his I guess features, you could say, which brings us back to his accessories, in which this cannon he can just hold in his hand. He can hold it in his hand, or you can plug it into like any one of these ports. And what I like to do is I like to have it stowed back here. That's one way you can store it. Now his other weapon, this thing, this little what looks to be like a cannon, you can also plug in any one of these ports or simply have him hold it. However, there's one extra thing you can do with it, which is really neat. That's if you fold the hand back in and you plug this in like so, you'll then have this arm weapon, which is really nice. Nice integration. So he's quite articulated. So here we have his cannon with his arm weapon, which I'll explain exactly what that supposed to represent. Any G1 fans will know immediately what that is, which I didn't until I did a little bit of research. And yeah, so that's Impactor. Now for some size comparisons, Cliff Jumper and Ratchet. And in a nice change of pace, Impactor is actually taller than Ratchet, so that's really nice. And overall, Impactor is a really solid figure. Really nice, very solid, and he's a fairly good reimagining of the G1 figure. And now we get onto a sort of not new, but a revamp, a sort of reimagining of an old segment that I used to do, which I am now dubbing the mini history section, where I'm going to be talking a little bit about the actual character. Because maybe people who might watch my videos might not know some of these characters. Because I can imagine not everyone knows who Impactor is. He's not like super obscure, but he's also not really that well known either. So I'm gonna have the mini history section be an area where I talk about the character, so that maybe if you know a little bit more about the character, it inspires people to, you know, go and get him. Because I actually knew Impactor, and because of me knowing the character is the reason why I got him. And on top of that, he's a very solid looking figure. So Impactor. He is a G1 character who is well known for being the former, if not the original leader of the elite Autobot strike force known as the Wreckers. And you probably know who the Wreckers are. Again, they're an elite task force that the Autobots have that are meant to do on very important and dangerous missions. And Impactor was the original, at least as far as I'm aware, the original leader of that team. And when he stepped down, his first officer, Springer, then became the leader. And I think that's the one that a lot of people know as the leader of the Wreckers is usually Springer. He's the one I think that people usually know, but Impactor was his mentor. So yeah, he's a rough and tough soldier. From my understanding, he's like he's just another Ironhide, you know, an old soldier, but he's a little bit more extreme from what I could tell. He's a lot more aggressive. Again, not 100% on that, but that's the impression that I'm getting. The shoulder cannon, the main gun, and even this thing are all indicative of the original character. But what this weapon serves, and why it also has spikes, is that in G1, Impactor, his right arm, he had a harpoon. And this is what this accessory is representing, is supposed to replicate. That's why it has these little spikes. This is supposed to be his harpoon hand, because he had a little bit of the shockwave syndrome, and one hand which is the dedicated weapon. But instead of a cannon, which this could also serve as, this is supposed to be his harpoon. And yeah, so that's a little bit about Impactor here. And he's an overall cool character and a very nice and solid figure. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe Class Impactor. This is Composite Enerjoe, signing off. Peace out. Okay, you can now end the video. I am done talking about Impactor. I just would like to take the time and sort of add, say a few things. The first thing I want to say is that if it wasn't too, how do I say this? Pretty much I'm mixing up my videos and I'm making them a lot more streamlined, since I've been noticing that I tend to ramble on in the middle of the review. So now I'm going to be focusing on dividing my review into different sections, which I just did for Impactor, where I just go to the vehicle really quick, then the transformation, then into what the figure can do, and then I start going into like how I know and a little bit of information about the figure. I've decided to streamline this so that people can like go into my video and use it as like maybe a guide to what the figure can do, to like how the figure transforms. So you can use this as a way to figure out how to transform a figure if you're stuck, or and also get an idea of what he does. So it's not just sort of what I feel about the figure. I would like my videos to also be used as a way to help others if they're maybe to find if there's something wrong with the figure. It's basically, I want my videos to be a little bit more informative, but to not be so long-winded. Because I feel that if you gotta wait 5 minutes for me to transform the figure, that's kind of a bit much in my opinion. So I'm gonna be streamlined. I'm gonna be trying this new format where I'm just gonna be a little bit quicker in my sort of reviews of the figure, where I'm getting to at least the functions and that I want. I basically just want to go through the features and the transformation a lot quicker, a lot earlier in the video, so people don't have to wait, so that they can, like, you know, watch my video, see what it's done, and then if you want to stay longer to get a little more information about the character, you don't have to wait. That's basically all I'm saying. Like I said, I tend to ramble a little bit, so hopefully this will alleviate that and my videos can be trimmed down. So yeah, what else? That was the main update. And the other thing I just wanted to point out is that I want to, like, I've been doing these videos for a long time and I do them out of fun. I'm not getting money for any of this. As of right now anyway, my videos don't really get that much traction. So as of right now, I'm not really making any money off of this. In fact, I'm not making any money. So I'm only doing this just for fun and to sort of share my love of these characters and this franchise with others, and to sort of, well, also inform people about certain characters or features or functions or whatever. Because pretty much when I started collecting, these kinds of videos of like reviewing figures and stuff really helped me into understanding what are good figures, what are bad figures, how to transform. Like, it really helped me out. So I kind of want to do this to help others in the same way that those videos helped me with, like, getting the right figures and, you know, what to do, like what to look for. So there's that. And I just mainly want to thank everyone who's ever watched my videos, and especially thank the ones who subscribed. And this is probably one of the few times I'm actually mentioning this, if not the only time, where, like, thank you so much for subscribing to me and whatnot. Like, I understand that this is I'm not breaking any new grounds here. I'm pretty much just doing, I guess, a variation of what's been done before. And even that variation is not that unique. But I really have fun doing these videos. I really like it. And the few comments that I do get, it's really nice seeing them. Like, y'all viewers are pretty chill people. You're really nice. So yeah, thank you all for, you know, supporting. Yeah, like thank you all for the support. I know that if you look at some bigger channels, they kind of force that whole subscription thing, but for me, you don't have to. It's appreciated, but it's not required or recommended or anything. Just thank you. This is just me right now saying thank you so much for the support. Just thank you. But yeah, at the end of the day, Impactor here is still a pretty good figure. So yeah, I guess quick recap. I'm mixing up my videos a little bit to make it more streamlined, less rambling. And thank you all for viewing and for supporting the channel. Again, I'm aware that this is not that special, but thank you. So, good night. And one final thing, Impactor's a solid figure, so highly recommend him. Peace out.